Hello, everyone. I'm Nikki Pierce from Method Agency. We're also joined by my partner, Bekah Decker. And today we're so excited to have our client / friend / Pacey Witter's biggest fan, Meghan Hibbett. Meghan, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about your business a little bit, and then we'll jump right in. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on this broadcast.
Thank you for being here.
Wait, a quick side note. We're in 3 different time zones. Nikki's on the West Coast, I'm on the East, and Meghan is currently in the United Kingdom, which I'm sure we'll talk about eventually. But just this is like a crazy thing getting all of our schedules to work these last few weeks.
Yeah, this is insane. And also I didn't make it easier in the last 20 minets trying to get the
internet working in the hotel, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Back into who you are.
I'm Meghan Hibbett, and I run a production company called Fickle Fish Films with my producing partner / hetero life partner, Stephenie Meyer. And we adapt books into film and television. And that's it. That's pretty much what we do. So you guys can see all the other things.
Right. Speaking of hetero life partners, have you guys ever had to take photos together and people have asked if you were engaged? Because that's happened to us multiple times.
Asking for friends. we had a recent photo shoot done, and we said to the photographer, we want to look like we're partners and together, but like we need to not look like we're getting engaged. So that was our goal. So we think she did a good job.
Yeah, yes. The answer is yes. We've been asked a lot of time. I think people find it hard to believe that we get along, and we've gotten along and have worked well together for so long. I think people assume it's because there's another layer to our relationship, which there is not.
Really? That's funny. So tell us about your relationship with Stephenie, because you met before Fickle Fish was a thing. You guys started this company together, and Stephenie obviously comes from the publishing world. So tell us about that relationship and how Fickle Fish came to be the catalyst for starting the company.
Stephenie and I met, we were friends before we started working together. So we met randomly in like a sliding doors situation at a book symposium in Utah, Provo, Utah, I think. And we were staying at the same hotel, and our hotel rooms were right across the hall from each other. And we just ran into each other in the hallway and bonded over the aforementioned Pacey Witter, Joshua Jackson, and our shared love for him, and a not widely known 80s television show called The Young Writers. Which is amazing, and everyone should watch it. It's on Netflix, I think. It's about the Pony Express. It's very good. So obviously those two people had to meet in this world and become friends. So we became friends. We were friends for a few years. And right before the movies started, the Twilight movies started, she was super crazy, and I was leaving a job that I liked but didn't love, and she was like, just come hang out with me in Arizona for a little while, and I need some help. And 10 years later, here we are.
You're still helping her.
I'm still helping. So I was her assistant for a little while, though she never really treated me like assistant. I was more of like a creative partner in all of the crazy hijinks that we got up to during those Twilight years. And we were getting ready to make, I think we were in pre-production for Breaking Dawn. And a friend of hers, Shannon Hale, who wrote Austin Land, which we ended up producing, came to her, and she and Drisha Hess, who directed Austin Land, had been working on the script for a while, and they were having a hard time getting it off the ground and getting, the production side of things going. And Stephenie and I were kind of like, I don't know, I mean, we could probably do it. And so we decided to try, and we did. And we did the Twilight movie. We did the last 2 Breaking Dawns, Austin Land, The Host, back to back to back, under Fickle Fish. So that's it. That's the genesis of our
I love that story because it's sort of kind of is like a similar to how Nikki and I started our partnership. We were working together casually over the years and doing things. We're always saying like, we're going to start a marketing company. We're going to start a marketing company. And it wasn't until Fickle Fish Films came to us and said, hey guys, you want to do our marketing? That we're like, okay, we'll start that marketing company. Like, I guess we can do that. We've been saying we can. Let's actually now do it. And so
yeah. Well, that's
you guys are catalyst for us.
Yeah, we were like, if we're going to do this, there are a lot of things that we don't know how to do, like making movies. No, I'm kidding. We sort of knew how to do that. But yeah, there were lots of things we knew we could not do, and so that's why we were like, we like these guys. Let's just have them do it. So
we are very appreciative of it. Always grateful.
Tell us about working as a partnership. We are a partnership. Most people who start a business go it alone. So I think people in partnerships have A, a special relationship, and B, it's just a different way of working. Why does it work for you guys? Like, what are those positives? And then also, what are the things that you have to work on? We could talk about all the things we do, but for you guys.
I don't know. People, like I said before, people ask a lot what it is that makes it work. I think we both bring different things to the table. I mean, I think people assume that we agree on everything 100% of the time, and it's not. I wouldn't even say it's a 50-50 split on the things we agree with or agree on. But we know that we both bring something different to the table, and we wouldn't be able to do it without the other person. So I think that's kind of what it, like the seed of it. And then beyond that, it's just, you know, we are friends and we respect each other, and we don't take anything too seriously. We try not to. We're not, you know, curing cancer. We're just trying to do something fun and give something, put something out in the world that people enjoy watching or reading on the publishing side of things. So yeah, I think we try to keep a sense of humor. I think that helps. A dark sense of humor.
Yeah, you guys are
That's the best part. That's why I think people don't get about you guys. They're like, oh, they're, you know, happy YA people. And we're like, no,
that's so much.
There's some darkness there.
There is a dark underside to the YA world, I'll have you know. That's a whole nother podcast. But yes, having respect for each other and having a sense of humor is what it all boils down to for us, I think.
How do you think, from just your work together and obviously working with other women, that women can champion themselves in the real world and in the entertainment or in the industry you're working on?
Well, I can't speak for the real world because I live and work in entertainment, and that is the opposite of the real world. That is its own mess.
Says the woman living in a hotel in the United Kingdom.
Exactly.
Right.
She's a woman who hasn't lived in America, for better or for worse, in the last 2 years almost. This time last year for 6 months, 5 months, so filming. So I am rarely in the real world. I think, you know, I wish I had it there was a standard answer. I don't really have one. I think that the thing that we try to do is keep fighting, which sounds cheesy, and I feel like I've probably read that in a meme somewhere, but it is hard every day trying to, you know, just the other day I was given a list of 30 directors, and one of them was a girl or a woman. And it's like, still, even with all the conversations that are happening every day, it's still happening, you know, things like that are still happening. So just knowing that you have to, it's not easy, and you have to do the work to, you know, I'm rambling now. you're going to have to edit this part out.
No, it's fine. It makes sense what you're saying. Well, how does, jumping into another question we had for you, like how does the fact that you guys are two females helming this entertainment company in Hollywood, which obviously right now is a very big story with the Me Too campaign and all the things that are coming about in entertainment specifically, but just in life, the sexual harassment that women go through, just looking down upon. I know, you may not feel comfortable sharing everything, but you guys have experienced things. I mean, that's not going to be a secret for anybody.
Yeah.
Because you're two women working in entertainment. Of course you have. Talk a little bit about what you feel like you comfortably can there. How does that function? What are your conversations surrounding that? How do you deal with a very still to this day, male-dominated industry?
Yeah, I mean, most often I am the only, unless Stephenie and I are in a meeting together, I'm usually the only woman in a meeting, any meeting. And it's hard. And I guess this is probably, this goes to the previous question too, is just you have to stay diligent and keep fighting and not let people walk over you, which is, I don't think everyone does it maliciously. I think guys aren't always thinking about it, but you have to, make sure your voice is heard and not be afraid to use your voice. It's easy for guys to use their voice because they can shout and people will listen to them. But if a woman does that, they are considered emotional or too emotional or crazy or any other adjective you want to throw at them. But usually it's just because no one's listening to them. So you have to raise your voice so that people can hear you. So yeah, it's hard. Yeah, we have both experienced it, especially on set. Set's a weird culture, and you become a family very quickly, but also certain boundaries go away very quickly. And it can be challenging, but, I don't have very good advice about
great advice.
That topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was funny when all of this stuff started coming to light these last few weeks, and so many men were like, I didn't know. And every woman is like, oh my God, like literally every industry, every week, like this is a thing. Yeah. I think it's crazy that so many people are blinded to what's really happening.
Well, yeah, it's not it's the other day about how surprised everyone is. We are not surprised. I'm not surprised. It happens all the time. It happened to me yesterday. It happened to me in a really terrible way a couple of years ago. It happens all the time, and it's great that it's coming out now. I just hope that we can actually make some changes to it, because the Harvey Weinstein thing was not a secret. People knew about it for a long time and just kept saying, oh, there's not much we can do about it. Hopefully that now that everyone has come out and people are supporting those women, because that doesn't happen ever, rarely, we can actually move beyond it and make some positive changes.
I think there's got to be a lot of other men of that certain generation shaking in their boots, what's going to happen to me? There has to be. This is, I often assume, yeah, that they're like, oh, if he isn't safe, neither am I. I've definitely done some things over the years, and great, that needs to happen. I mean, and it's a shame because it's taking away it's a lot of the good that's happened, but yeah.
Is it actually good?
Right.
Around it. I mean, that's it. Yeah, that's something that, Stephenie and I we keep things very close. We have a very small company. We don't, as you guys know, and have experienced, I'm sure, your own frustrations with it just being the two of us. But we keep things close to our chest for a reason, because the more you put out there, the more you're in danger of things getting kind of twisted and torn apart. And it would be nice to feel like you don't have to do that all the time.
Right.
Right. I know we've kind of ended up working with a lot of female-owned businesses, female vendors, and it hasn't really been like a plan that we set out to do this, but it just kind of happened and it's worked really well. We know that you've made a lot of films from female writers and directors. Is that something you guys are purposely seeking out, or is it just a happy coincidence?
No, it's something we have to do. You can't accidentally make a movie with women. You can accidentally make a movie with all men, but you can't accidentally do anything with all women. So, Austinland was kind of the perfect group of people came together for Austinland. It was all women on Austinland. And that was really exciting. And that was something people really picked up on and got very excited about. And we really enjoyed that. But before we did Austinland, that was something that we didn't have a lot of goals set for ourselves, but that was the main one, which was finding women, new talent. People aren't usually given a chance. Because there's this like vicious cycle too, where it's like everyone's talking about women directors, for example, women directors. And the problem is not just with directors, it's with women in all departments. But with women directors specifically, people are looking for women directors. That's the goal that everybody's saying. It's the thing everybody wants. But they want women directors with experience. But we can't, it's this vicious cycle of like, you can't. So we find there's no shortage of female directors out there, but they don't all have the same experience as the men directors because they're not given the opportunity. So it's just this vicious cycle of having to.
Well, I saw this really great tweet, I think it was this week, and it said, men are hired on potential and women are hired on their resume.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so true.
The best story, it's a terrible story, but the perfect example for this is we had, for one of our other projects, we had a female director that we were obsessed with. We loved her and she was perfect for the project. She had directed one movie, but had a lot of acclaim in some other areas. And she was perfect and she was amazing. And you put her in a room with anybody and everybody loved her. She had a great pitch. And when we were going around to financiers, there was one financier who said, this is a great package, but I can get you 4 times the amount of money if you go with this guy who was like 12, not 12, he was like 22 and had directed a commercial. He had won a contest for like Doritos or something and had not gone to film school, had not done any of these things. Not that you need to go to film school to be a good director, but she had all of this and he won a contest and made a funny Doritos commercial and had like, I don't know, a lot of Instagram followers or something. Yeah. And so, we could have gotten the movie made in the room. Like I could have signed a piece of paper that day and said, all right, fine, we'll go with that guy and we'll take all of your money and we'll make the movie, but we didn't. And the movie still hasn't been made yet because we're still fighting against this, the same thing. So it's just, you have to make the decision to either compromise or not compromise. And we do our best to not compromise. If the ball's in our court, once there are other producers and studios involved, sometimes you will lose the battle. You'll lose many battles, but you just have to be prepared to go on to your next project, starting fresh and trying again. So that's what we try to do. And we just send a lot of angry emails to each other in between.
Well, and it's hard because if you get presented with 30 directors that you're looking at and one of them's a woman, obviously I get you guys are going to go to her first and you're going to look into her work. But like, what if it isn't? Like, just because she's it may not. In a group of 30, one person probably isn't going to be the standout. Like, and it's so interesting that.
I don't look at lists of 30 men anymore. If someone gives me a list of 30 men, just for example, sometimes it's not as many. Yeah. If you give me a list of 2 men and no women, I'm going to send you my list that's just all women. And then we can talk about that list. And and we'll work our way through that list. If those people aren't available, if they're not right for the project, fine. we can have that discussion, but I'm not starting from a list of 30 men, because you can't. I mean, if you truly want to back up what you're saying and what you're telling everybody that you want to do, then you have to do the work. So
yeah, that makes sense, because the chances are that woman may not be the best fit for the project, and you can't hire her just because she's a woman. You also want to make a really good project. So that's
right.
Perfect. There's a perfect solution. Give me a list of 15 women and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, well, because there's 5 women, just like we're working on a television project right now, and there's more than this, but the conversation for us, and there are women who have worked on some popular television shows, but and they're all great, but they're all taken because everybody wants a female director, and everyone's a female director with experience, and so you can only pick from these people. Never mind that I have a list of like 30 women who would be great, and don't have as much experience, but let's be the people who give this person their shot. And people are nervous.
Especially on TV, you get more of a chance, right? Because you're not going to have the same director every episode.
Yeah.
You think.
You would think.
You've talked a little bit about pitching and stories, and what makes a good story for you guys? What's the story, or what's the pitch or the script that really stands out to you guys, both of you, or either separately even?
Yeah, we do things a little bit differently because it's only the 2 of us. We don't take submissions. I feel bad about that sometimes. And we don't hear pitches until we get in, unless it's from a director or writer, once we've optioned a book. Just because it's only the 2 of us, and I would spend, my entire week reading submissions and pitches, and hearing pitches. So we don't do that. And the only rule we have for ourselves in terms of what we choose is that we both have to love it. There are lots of things that I'm obsessed with that Stephenie is like, you're insane. This is the worst thing I've ever read. And vice versa. She gave me a book about coyotes the other week, and I was like, I don't get it. Being a coyote.
The Arizona run strong.
it was very, yeah. So we both have to love it. And a lot of times it's me doing my best to convince her that this is something we totally have time for this. We can do it. It's going to be fine. And we usually don't have time, but in terms of what it is that we look for, we don't look for anything specific. We don't go off of the bestsellers list. We don't read a lot of submissions. It's just finding something that speaks to us, and that's not a good answer. I know people ask a lot, like, what is it? What's the next thing? What are people looking for? I'm kind of not interested in what people are looking for. If I'm going to spend 6 years of my life on a project, which is, about what it takes, then it needs to be something that I'm going to love doing, and like adapting, getting a script you really love, seeing that script get torn apart once other people start coming on board, loving it again, like you have to, it's subjective, and there isn't I wish there was an answer, because it would free up a lot of my time.
Well, I think you did have an answer there. Like, you don't look for bestsellers, like, right? You're not looking like what's hot right now, or like what's gonna be hot. What was just optioned by some publisher for 6 figures?
What's the new vampire? What's the new zombie?
There are production companies, we know them, that do that very thing, and they may be super successful, or they don't, because I don't know if those movies have been connected lately. But
yeah, well, I mean, they are those people. We work with those people. Yeah, we work with those people. We make movies with those people. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it certainly pays off. We're just not, mostly we're just not equipped to do that. We're not in the position that we can be battling for options. We did on one, and we both felt terrible after it. Swore we were never going to do it. We were never going to do it again. And it wasn't even on a huge project. So, it's just not, that's just not our where we're looking. We want to find stories that haven't been told, or a story that we can tell in a new and fresh way. And if it has a girl in the lead, all the better. And it doesn't have to be YA. We're very caught up in the YA world, but we read all kinds of things. We just keep finding ourselves in the YA world. Or TV shows not YA. The Rook's not YA.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Right.
Let's transition a little. You self-proclaimed Renee. You repel technology.
Literally
Literally 5 minutes before this, your internet wasn't working, and
you were repelling your technology. Yep.
Strange men were fixing it in your room. Tell us about how you guys like stay connected. What do you use to work together or don't? What is like your must-have on your phone or your computer?
We don't. I texted both of these girls last night and said, was this question made specifically for me as a joke? Because they know that I do not do technology. Honestly, we don't have like our phones, text messaging, telephone calls, emails. That is what we use.
How do you share like scripts through email? Do you have some sort of way that you try to do it? Nope.
Email.
Through email. You got it.
We use Dropbox. I use Dropbox a lot. Stephenie doesn't know hasn't figured out how to work Dropbox.
But you figured out Pinterest, both of you, right?
We use Pinterest. We use Pinterest mostly though, just to send snarky memes back and forth to each other, or to like find a new craft project. Sometimes we use it. We have used Pinterest before for work to,
with us.
The nice way to make, with you guys, with Stephenie's website, for sure.
Yeah. You told us about something called the Nap app. I really need to hear about whatever that is.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of naps. I work all the time, and so I don't have to get my phone to find out the name of it. When I can, I take naps. But there's this app, and I don't know if it's real. I've just convinced myself
it's a fake app.
It's called the brainwave. You can adjust.
You repelled technology in the middle of that. Say it again. It's called the what?
It's called the brainwave power nap.
Oh.
And you can adjust they're different. I'm just gonna sound like a real idiot, but you can adjust like the brain waves. Like there's certain sounds that when you're sleeping, it plays. Listen, it works. Okay, I don't need it.
It's a great idea.
Do you put a microwave next to your head?
Get yourself 20-minute power nap every day. That's
cool.
how I
like it.
Through my long hours when I'm working in another country than my business partner.
I believe in the nap. Do you just sit in a chair or a couch, or is it like you have to lay in a bed? I don't know I'm asking this much about it, but I really am interested.
You can, I can sleep anywhere. The only we need when she and I, because we travel a lot, obviously, I'm in another country. Stephenie needs a lot of things like blackout curtains, because she has to sleep in total darkness. Those are the things we need.
She's a bat.
Blackout curtains. I always buy a mattress topper whenever I go someplace, because the beds in Europe are terrible. I mean, it's just making me sound like a diva, but that's...
So that's the must-have in your office from our
must-have in my office. A good pillow.
A nice candle.
Feel as home as you can. Do you have an office where you guys are setting up your shop right now?
We have
on the show.
For this show, yeah. Well, we have a production office, the show, and I have an office in that building. But I honestly don't spend a lot of time in the office. We're remote. We work from wherever we need to work. When the
internet works. I know. That's the hardest thing about traveling and working. Like sometimes it doesn't.
selfishly, we put this question on the list, but how important is social media to your business?
So important that we had to hire professionals to do it for us. That's how important it is. I mean, listen, you're asking the wrong person. I understand that it is important and certainly important in terms of like fan bases. That has been proven with done well, and we have experienced when it's been done well with Twilight and not so well with some other things that will remain nameless. So yeah, it's important, and we have zero grasp on it. So we hired people to do it for us as much as we let them do it.
Right. There's a lot of no's when the questions we get asked. Well, I think that, we could speak a little bit to it, like why we think it's important. Because right now, like, let's think about the last time that Fickle Fish has had a new film, right? It's been a while. There's this like lull, like you said, it's taken 6 years to create films. Like, so there's time where we need to cultivate and create and like keep people engaged in some sort of way so that there is an audience base there ready and primed for the next Fickle Fish project. And that's kind of been an interesting thing, because when we started working with you 4 years ago, what we did then looked very different than we do now. Like, Instagram was not what it is. I don't even remember if we had an Instagram account when we first started.
I don't think it was a thing when we started.
Yeah, it's that's such a huge, important part of the social. That's like where you get the most engagement anymore. So it's so interesting how we've gotten to see your company's online change in the last few years.
And even hear how important it is, or to some people in the movie industry, about who they cast or who they bring on board, and that's even become a metric is pretty crazy.
That is one of the most frustrating conversations I have these days, which is, an agent will call and pitch an actor, and it's always followed up with, not always, mostly with the younger ones, followed up with their social media stats, and like, it is lost on me. I don't know what those numbers mean. So it doesn't, I'm sure it means it. I know that if I turn that around and say that to a financier, they get very excited. I'm not sure that those numbers translate into people buying tickets to see movies, but it's certainly something that has become important in the last few years.
And I think like it's not as the same because Stephenie is on such a different level from a publisher standpoint, but we've heard that from other authors or from publicists that we've worked with, that is a thing that publishers look at now, how their authors to rank them as far as what books are priority, right? Yeah. The author with 500,000 followers is going to get a higher priority book than someone that only has 4,000 followers or 400. And that's a shame, but also I think we do understand it because there is a built-in audience. It makes promoting things easier. Does it translate into book sales? We know that it doesn't.
Yeah.
We know that you have to work just as hard, and that book better as hell be good, or else no one's going to read it or like it.
Yeah.
But it makes it a little easier, I think, to potentially get that sale.
Yeah. It's a hard balance. I know you guys with us struggle with us a lot because we, like I said before, we keep things very close. And did I just make a heart? I didn't mean to do that. That's not what I meant to do.
Close to our heart.
No, we keep things very close. We're not big. We don't like to give out information until it's 100. We are 100% ready to give out information, and I never feel 100% ready to give out information. Or even putting that. Twilight was a different. You're right. We come at it. We see it from a different point of view because Twilight was what it was. And there's a wall, that we aren't super, I'm using kind of the royal we here, but that we're not super comfortable with, letting down. But
Understandably.
Let's finish on a super light note and tell us everything you're watching, reading, listening to, etc.
Well, I'm watching Stranger Things.
Yeah, did you start it? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is being recorded the night after Stranger Things came out, the second season. So
so I'm limited to what I can watch to Netflix, because that's the only thing that works while I'm here. So Stranger Things, Mindhunter.
yeah, I can't wait to start that.
Oh yeah.
Mindhunter is pretty good. Reading, you know, I haven't read a lot that is worth mentioning.
Oh, bummer.
Jacqueline Moriarty has a new book out that I'm obsessed, that I really love, but I love everything she does.
Yeah, you love her.
Rainbow Rowell has some short stories that are coming out pretty soon.
Oh,
Or
you've
maybe
read
they're already out here. They might already be out here.
I don't think they're out here.
So that's something I'm looking forward to. Listening. Oh, you should be asking Stephenie about music. I like Borns lately. I've been listening to a lot of him. It's a guy for a long time. And Haim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are my jams.
Cool.
Lately. I wish I had better book recommendations. Maybe I'll follow up with better book recommendations.
Write a whole blog for Fickle Fish Films blog. And then we'll let everyone know.
We all know that's never going to happen. Thanks, Ryan.
In 2019.
Oh, yeah, I should be looking at The Chemist is very good.
Yeah,
Book, also excellent. Anna Dressed in Blood. What else do we have?
Not a Drop to Drink.
Yeah.
Not a Drop to Drink.
One of these that just happened to be behind me.
Some of those back there.
Twilight
I mean, don't. Everyone's read those. We can.
Don't look at it.
There's some new ones. Yeah.
Cool.
That's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for letting us talk to you and pick your brain a little bit about being a woman in Hollywood and how you deal with that. And we are obviously very impressed with you and Stephenie and are grateful for your friendship and for your business, obviously, but also just as two women that we respect and love seeing your projects and being a part of it and getting to see them like 6 years in advance, which is, I get frustrated because I want to see it on screen, so I can't imagine having to deal with the ins and outs. We are very grateful to be a part of the process in the little way we are.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Making a video for social. Thank you for your time.
Oh, no. See, I'm just no way I'm